Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Speak On It podcast. I am your host, Big Mike here. We are back in the building, recapping Wild Week in Sports. Here for this abbreviated fast break episode tonight. Just wanted to touch base, talk about what's going on in the world of sports. Fellas, everything is moving around, shaking and baking. So we are just running two-man fast break tonight. Two-man weave. I don't have the Mad Producer Podcast Poppy in the building. He is off handling big dog things. Shout out to Podcast Poppy as he deals with what he's got to deal with. So it's just me and my man Anthony tonight. Anthony, how are you
How about you?
doing?
I am doing good. I really needed to turn the TV off because I've been playing video games all day. So it's good to talk about some damn sports today.
You were definitely playing
Good
video
way to
games.
end the night.
Definitely playing
Huh?
video games when you came in here.
So I absolutely was. And I got pizza coming at 12:25. So
What
this is gonna be a good night.
what pizza do you
Huh?
have? I don't even want to know.
You don't.
That's-
It
Like,
starts with a D. I'll put it like
hey, hey,
that.
hey, 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 hey. Starting off early tonight. Starting off early. Let's, let's get into it. Uh don't actually have this is not the way you want to start the show, but I mean it's big news. Kyrie Irving tore his ACL in what I can only call uh freak play, really. I mean, he drove to the rim like Kyrie's done a zillion times, and it kind of looked like he kind of banged the other knee with someone, and then his body kind of tried to compensate, and it just I thought he hyperextended his knee. I was praying that he just hyperextended it.
That's what it looked like too as well.
I was just like, oh man, I hope he just hyperextended. They can just kind of like pop that back, and he'll be back in a couple of weeks. But we got the word, the worst news. He tore his ACL. He's done for the season. He's more than likely going to be done for a good chunk of next season. I mean,
Hmm.
medicine's getting better, so maybe he can come back quicker, but he might be done for a good part of next year too. So devastating blow to Dallas, who, as I had posted in the chat, and I can't remember a franchise having a worse 6 weeks than Dallas has had in the Mavericks have had in like the last 6 weeks. I mean, everything has gone wrong. Everything. I posted something in the chat that just I'm gonna try and pull it that just any and everything that could go wrong with Dallas has gone wrong. Every move that they've made has gone wrong. Like it's crazy to think that I mean, you can go back to before the Luca trade because Lively got hurt and
Daniel
Gaff-
Gafford got
Gafford
her.
got hurt. Like it's just it's been downhill here. Yeah, I have it right here. Gafford got hurt. Lively got hurt. They traded Luca on February 1st. Then Nico Harrison had that stupid press conference the next day.
Doing a bunch of splaining.
Luca gets introduced to the Mavericks on the 4th. They consequently trade Quentin Grimes to the Sixers also. They introduce Anthony Davis. He plays. He has a great first half and then gets hurt. The next the next day, the greatest Maverick of all time, Dirk Nowitzki, shows up to LA for Luka's debut with the Lakers. Is I mean, it's great. It's wild. I love that Dirk did that too. That's real friend right there. It's real friend. Mavs fans are ejected in Dallas for chanting "Fire Nico" at the Mavs game. At the college basketball game, SMU, the student section starts chanting "Fire Nico Harrison" while he's there at the game. Then 2 days later, Mavs assistant coach Darryl Armstrong is arrested for aggravated assault. Then the Mavs release a music video with the players that they've traded edited out of it. Dirk then talks to the media at Dallas radio station and talks about how this has all been weird, which is not a good look when you have the greatest player in franchise history saying that. Luka Doncic's moral was revealed in Dallas on the 28th. Then remember that Quentin Grimes guy that I talked about? Oh, he dropped 44 for the Sixers 2 weeks later. Then, then on March 3rd, the Mavs the Mavs announced that they were going to raise ticket prices 8%. And then later that night,
For a while.
Kyrie tore his ACL. They announced they were raising ticket prices. Kyrie tears his ACL later that night. And here we are. Kyrie is out for the season. And like I said, maybe out for next season as well. Hopefully not. And I forgot to throw in, they're also thinking about shutting AD down for the season now.
Yep, I heard
It
that report.
it has been Mark Cuban is rolling. It is rolling over in his grave. None of this. I'm not saying, hey, all I know is none of this happened while Mark Cuban was the owner. He sells the team, and all hell has broken loose in Dallas. Your thoughts on the state of the Dallas Mavericks right now?
Funny enough, as we go through all these things, if you these injuries, if all these players are healthy, just for 1 second, I don't think it's this doomsday situation. I actually think the Mavericks are competitors,
That's the
contenders, depending on who you talk about. That's
I
the
was
funny. Yeah, that is the funny thing about
I
it.
was saying it in the chat. I still like this team. Like if they were healthy, th- this team is still pretty good.
Yeah, but because of the injuries and the extent of the injury to Kyrie, it's he may not be back the same, even when he comes back, which is probably going to be around New Year's,
Yeah, with a lot
around that
we,
time.
we hope.
Hopefully, before the All Star break, you know, it, ACL tears is just such a grueling process. It takes a long time. It's not just a physical thing; it's also a mental, that you have to go through. You know,
And he's
so
done
that's
this
just going to be
before.
so tough. Hmm.
He's done this before. He's older. Yeah, it's a tough sell. It's a tough sell.
When he's going to be back, he's going to be staring at 34. AD is going to be 33. Those are your two cornerstones. Now, I would say still in their prime, but you're getting up, you're inching towards the wrong side of 30 at that point. You know, so where is your future in terms of the Mavericks? Where is the future at the end of the day? I don't see it, and that's the big problem. Like I understand you like this is supposed to be kind of like almost a win now situation, but the injury bug hit, so now it's a catastrophe. It's an absolute catastrophe. you trade Luca because of I've heard at least 10 different excuses at this point or reasons. He was eating too many hamburgers. He was smoking too many cigars. I mean, he had an affinity for beer. I mean, you just go down the list at this point, man.
It sounds like somebody in management didn't like him. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah,
Somebody
and
you ruffled the wrong feathers.
Nico's got to be sick right now. I don't know who has it worse, him or the Giants GM. I don't know who has it worse. Just
That
seeing the fruits of the dumbass liquor.
that is a great question. I would still say the Giants GM is worse right now, only because Saquon and the Eagles actually finished the job. But if the Lakers, and we're going to talk about the Lakers next, if the Lakers make a run, and just like we were saying, you got to fire him immediately. Like fire him immediately. If the Lakers go on a run to the finals, and if the Lakers win the title,
He has to
and
be banned from that building.
Luca does what Luca did last year, you're right. He can't come back. He can't come back. He will come back because we're gonna, like we said, we're gonna rock with this team because this team is pretty good. Like at this point, to me, they gotta go. They gotta go see if Chris Paul is available. DeJounte Murray from New Orleans, like they gotta go get. They gotta go get one of them because, like I said, we don't know when Kai's coming back, and they are going to be like they're going to be a point guard away. They're going to be a they're going to be a point guard away because they are really big, really athletic, really talented. They just need someone to steer. They just need a captain.
It's very true. That's
So
very, very true.
we wish Kyrie the best. Hopefully he recovers. Like I said, it's a terrible, terrible injury. Terrible injury. And then, just hope he's okay. Like we stated, the other side of that trade, the Lakers and Luca and LeBron are
Rolling,
they are
rolling.
thriving right now. Like they've won, I believe, 8 of their last
Six.
10, something like that.
Yeah.
They are in sole place of second place as we speak right now. They look
Mm-hmm.
great. LeBron looks energized. And the most important part of all of it is JJ Redick has them playing defense. And
Yes.
if the Lakers could play defense, we said that when the trade happened, we was like, yeah, it's all fun and games, but Luca and LeBron ain't gonna play no defense. Everybody just gonna. I remember Dylan saying that the traffic cones and it's just gonna be a freeway to the rim with no
Nope.
protection and no big. Well, it maybe it's not a freeway, maybe it's just a busy street, but
They got them boys playing defense.
Lakers are playing defense. LeBron, they're utilizing this great strategy where LeBron, and maybe I don't even know if it's a strategy or if it just is LeBron's IQ, but he just kind of is reading and conserving his energy. He doesn't have to do everything every moment of the
Mm-hmm.
game. And then
Mm-hmm.
in the fourth quarter, he turns into LeBron James, and it's overwhelming at that point. It's starting to remind me of what happens with Derrick Henry. And it's just body punch, body punch, body punch. Basically, what the Ravens should have been just let Luca do all the flashy stuff, let Luca do all of that stuff, and let Derrick Henry just hit you with the body punches, and then Come third, fourth quarter, when you're tired, that monster over there is fresh. And when that monster's
Hmm.
fresh, you are in trouble.
And that's exactly what they've been doing. Because you notice that, for the first like three-ish quarters, like Luca is the main focal point of that offense, and they center it mainly around him. Then towards the end, that's when you see LeBron starting to really pick up steam and let loose and whatnot. He doesn't have to go all out the way he needs to. And also shout out to the other people on the team who are stepping up, like Hachimori, Austin Reeves. He deserves mention too as well. He's been playing well,
AR-15 balling out here. AR-15 balling
balling
out
out
here.
here.
Yeah, they're supporting cats. I've been saying it for 2 years now. Whenever the Lakers get Vanderbilt back, they're going to be a whole different team. I've literally been saying it for 2 years, waiting for him to come back. When he's on the floor, he's a difference maker because he also relieves pressure from LeBron because LeBron doesn't have to play defense on the best player because LeBron can play safety. He can just watch and react because well, I don't care what nobody says. LeBron reads the floor and reads plays better than anybody I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen anyone who understands the game in real time, in real speed, like he does. It's it's fascinating. It's amazing to watch sometimes where he knows what it's like watching Tom Brady or Peyton Manning. Like they just know where everybody's going to be on the field. So
Hmm.
it just makes it easy for them because they just react. Oh, you're doing that, so I'm going to do this. Are you doing that, so I'm going to do this. And when you have complementary pieces, good things usually happen. If the Lakers stay healthy, I absolutely think they're contenders. I do think that they can beat. I think they can beat Denver finally. Although Joker is still going to be a handful for them. Joker's going to be a handful for them. Um,
And and Jamal Murray, he's gonna put up his best Kobe impersonation against the Lakers because he does that every single year.
but I think the Lakers can beat Memphis. I know the Lakers can beat Houston. I think they can beat Golden State. I think they can beat Golden State. I know they can beat Minnesota. I know they can beat the Clippers. I know they can beat the Kings. I know they can beat Phoenix. So that just leaves OKC and Denver, really, to me. And Golden State. Golden State will be tricky. Golden State would be tricky.
I
So
don't know. I think Memphis can pose an issue for LA too.
you think so? I mean, they
Yeah,
have
because
size.
you got
They have size.
they have a lot of size. Yeah, you got Jaren Jackson. He's a baller. You got what's his name, Desmond Bain. You got Morant. Like, don't sleep on the Grizzlies now. They
I
have depth too as well.
I keep feeling like Memphis doesn't score enough. And then Dylan reminded me that actually Memphis is the top scoring team in the league, and all they do is score points.
Yeah, they score a lot of points. Like,
They they score a boatload of points. So I hear it. I would just have to see it. I just have to see it. I don't think they could beat the Lakers though.
mm,
But my man John Morant, never count out 12.
never counting out at all.
Anthony, do you remember when we sat here last year and somebody on here was trying to tell everybody that we are getting a little too enamored with Anthony Edwards and that John Morant was better than Anthony Edwards? I was laughed at on here, told I was crazy for thinking that John Morant was better than Anthony Edwards. And Anthony Edwards is great. He's added that 3-point shot, makes him great. And his front office may have sabotaged him a little bit, but I still think John Morant is just as good. just as good as Anthony Edwards.
I absolutely agree.
Like Ja is.
J- John Morant, like he's box office. He's fun as hell to watch. He's clutch too. That's something that doesn't get talked about enough. Like when
Mm,
it's game time, you give the ball to Ja. At the end of the day, I don't like. I see a lot of similarities between them. Honestly, at the end of the day, you need a 40-point game. Good Ja can give you 40. Ant can give you 42. It's like it's kind of like a wash to me at the end of the day. I don't think Anthony Edwards is better than Ja, but I don't think Ja is really better than Edwards. I think they're both kind of like the same to me at the end of the day.
exactly. I have no problem with that. They're the same person. Ja's averaging 21 a game. I think Ant is averaging like 24. I'll tell you how much he's averaging. He's averaging 27. So he's averaging a lot more.
Yeah, but he also has a lot less help too as well.
This is
Like
true.
who else? Like who else? Who's the second leading scorer on the Timberwolves right now?
The second leading scorer. Oh, that's Anthony Edwards stats. Julius Randle at 18.
Jesus,
And then Nas Reed at 15.
damn.
So they go as Anthony Edwards goes. And Anthony Edwards has
Yes, they
played
do.
and Anthony Edwards has played all but 3 games this year. Which good for him. Good for him. All but 3 games.
They're gonna need him to play every freaking game because at the end of the day, another thing that doesn't get talked about when Ja goes down, the Grizzlies still play really well. They're still a really good team even when Ja goes down. Now, if you look at their record and the way they played, and what I'm just trying to say is if Ja were to go down, the Grizzlies aren't screwed because they still have a good team.
It
If
would be
Edwards goes down, that Timberwolves team is just decimated at that point.
if Ja went down, Memphis would be a playing team at best.
Mm,
At best. You
you
take
think
Ja
so? You think they dropped that, huh?
you take Ja off of Memphis. Are they better than OKC? No.
Wait, off? No, hell no.
Are they better than the Lakers?
No,
Are they better than Denver?
no,
Are they better than Houston?
no.
Are they better than Golden State?
But I don't think it's a wide gap. Are they better? No, they're not better than Golden State.
Are they better than Minnesota?
Call me crazy, but I think they're better. They're still better than Minnesota, even without Ja.
I don't know about
I,
that one. I'll start.
Mike,
I'll start
I
there.
think you need to look at their roster again. Like
This
the
is where
Grizzlies roster is pretty deep.
I would
Like
start 2
because
and 2. Sacramento, I think they're probably still better than Sacramento. If Norman Powell is healthy, I don't think they're better than the Clippers. If Norman Powell's not playing, then they're not better than the Clippers, which is a wild statement to say. But it depends. What's left of the mass unit of Dallas, they're better than Dallas. And Phoenix, I mean, it depends on what day of the week it is. Because Phoenix either stinks or they look like they did last night where they came back from 23 down and won the game and played defense in the fourth
um,
quarter.
it, it's more they stink.
If they would just play like that, if they would just play like that all the time, they'd be fine, but they don't. So
We can't play the game of what ifs, unfortunately.
no, you cannot. You are right about that. So that's what I mean. They'd be a playing team. They'd be somewhere between 8 and 10. Somewhere. You
That
don't
makes
think
sense.
they'd be better
That
than
makes
Houston?
sense.
You said Houston, they wouldn't be better than?
No, I said no. Houston would be better than them, but I don't think it's by a wide margin. Like
Oh,
I think if they faced off in a 7-game series without Ja, I think it would. I think
That's
Houston wins, but
5.
6. I would
Man.
say 6.
Don't
Come on, you
sleep on
you
them. Don't,
you
don't
are
sleep on
vastly
them
underestimating
Rockets.
this grid. Come on, man. You are vastly
Don't sleep on
underestimating
them
this team, man.
Rockets, man.
Come on, man.
Don't
Hey, what
sleep
we
on
doing
them
here, right?
Rockets. Oh, I think we have someone looking to join. Oh, it's going to be a 3-man weave, maybe. Breezy is. I don't know if his mic is on that picture. It's just terrible.
Hello, fellas.
Hola.
I would say I don't hear. Hello.
Hello.
Okay. Yes, I can
Yeah,
hear
I
you.
can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
What's going on, fellas?
Going on. We were just talking, kind of doing a what if right now because we were talking about Ja Morant and Anthony Edwards and who has the better support around them, and if you took Ja off of Memphis, where would Memphis be? I think they would be a play-in
A
team.
playing team.
Anthony thinks that they would be a fringe. He thinks they would be some 5 to 7. He thinks it'd be somewhere 5 to 7.
Jazz what pushes them over.
I think you take Ja off that team and they're 8 to 10, and
They're
like
definitely
if
a play. They're definitely a playing team, and if they're not a playing team, they're not. I don't think they're better. So I think they're a playing team or worse. You
he
take
said,
Ja for that team. Their backup point guard is who?
great question.
What's this? Who's their
Who
backup
knows?
point guard again?
I'll tell you.
It
No,
ain't.
I'll tell
It
you.
ain't. It ain't Ty. He plays it for the Suns now.
Uh, well, they run Luke Kennard.
Yeah, nah.
They uh they do run Cam Spencer a little bit,
Who?
but it would probably Luke Kennard. I mean, they let Bain run the ball
Bane run the
too.
point,
Yeah, they let Bain run the
and
point
then who
too.
would be the
Really?
two? Luke Kennard.
Luke Kennard.
I believe so.
That team loses its whole identity if Ja's not there.
Well, my thing is personally, that team runs through Desmond Bain and Jaren Jackson. I think that they're both averaging damn near around 20 points a game. The Grizzlies are a high scoring team. They score a lot of points. Like people seem to forget, the Grizzlies are a high scoring team. And historically, when you've looked at how they play without Ja, either because of his off the court stuff or his injuries, they were still a really good team.
Mm.
I would personally have them at like number. I think they could be number a 6 seed without Ja.
That's and that's what I was saying. If they're not, I don't think they would be better than Houston. And literally, as you walked in, James, I was saying if they played a 7-game series, he said Memphis would get 2. I think Memphis would get 1 if they played Houston without Ja.
Hmm.
1, 5,
He said,
gentle, gentleman sweep with a bow tie.
So this year, the Grizzlies are 24-13 with Ja playing. They are 14-10 without him playing.
They are a 500 team, which
that
is
is
what
14-10 is not 500. That is comfortably 4 games over 500. Let's not do this estimating bullshit. That is above 500. All right.
4 games over 500 would put them at the 8 seed.
I mean, they are. I mean, Ja gives them 10 more games with him, but they're still with him. They're still below 500 team.
They are an 8 seed. But the same thing with Memphis. Now, I will concede it with Memphis. I mean Memphis with Minnesota. The whole thing with Minnesota is Julius Randle healthy? If Julius is healthy, then that Minnesota team's fine. If Julius is not healthy, then yeah, they fucking stink. They stink. So if you're
I
telling
mean,
me we're taking Ant off the team, you got to tell me is Julius healthy or is Julius not healthy?
without Ja, that team is a 12 seed right now this year. Because you take away his 10 wins, that will make them have 28 wins, and they will be tied with the Portland Trailblazers.
So
You say you take away his 10. You take
Yeah,
away those 10.
10 wins because they're 24-13 with him and 14-10 without him.
I would split it then. I would give him
Yeah,
five.
you wouldn't take away 10 games from them.
I'd take five away. You got to figure they're gonna get they get because they're over 500 without him. I would that's what I would just split that in half. Which I mean, still, like I said, that would make them eight. I would give them 30, what 30, 31, 32, eight.
Mm.
Yeah, eight.
They'll make them
They'd be
30.
there with the. They'd be right there with the Kings.
If there were if you took away 8 wins, there'll be 30. That will put them at 11th. Under Dallas at 10 with 32.
No, but you would take they're 4 games over without him. So if you take those 10 games, 4 games over would be 6. So I'd have to give them 6.
4 games over.
They're 4 games over. So
Mm-hmm.
so they're 4 games. Yeah, so you can give them 6. It doesn't matter. They're a playing
Mm-hmm.
team. They're a playing
Yes.
team. We're doing too much with these hypotheticals.
So way too much.
Way too much with these hypotheticals.
So let me see. Then if you're saying about the
Timberwolves.
Timberwolves.
You take, like I said, if you take Ant on the team, I need to know where and
Julius Randle.
what Julius Randle am I getting?
Where and what Julius Randle?
If you
Do I
take Ant
have
off of that team,
if do I have Julius healthy the whole season? Then they're going to be right where they are right now. Honestly,
ah,
5
5 games over 500.
With no Ant Edwards, we're talking about a healthy Julius Randle. 5 games
Healthy
over 5.
because Julius hasn't
Fuck
played all
no.
year. Julius hasn't played all year.
that's true. Let me see how many games he's played.
I've seen Julius carry a worse team than this to the playoffs.
Hmm.
That's different though. We're talking about the Western Conference.
Man, ball is ball, man. Julius can ball. Julius can hoop.
He can hoop, but I mean, can't stay on the court. Like,
Okay. But that's why I'm asking you if you
that's
have like Julius,
so
you have
motherfucker
you
show
have
to be given out like every year.
because if you're telling me that they're not gonna have Julius, then yeah, they're gonna be down there with New Orleans. You could just throw them right. You could just throw them right
Because
there
even
with them.
DiVincenzo, like, if they can get any semblance of what DiVincenzo was, I mean, with a healthy Randall, then I could take Minnesota seriously.
Minnesota's gonna be a very interesting team in either the play-in or the first round of playoffs because they have size, they have a superstar, and they have talent. Like I don't know if I'm Denver and Denver gets the 3 seed, I would rather play Golden State than play Minnesota. I know how Dame and playoff
Sorry.
playoff Jimmy is. But again, at the end of the day, Golden State has no size, and Joker is just going to bully them. in the playoffs. Minnesota has size. Minnesota has size, and
Yeah,
Minnesota's
yeah,
not
but at the same
great.
time, I don't want to see Steph Curry in the playoffs. So that's the thing.
I don't want to see
And you got
Steph
to
either.
remember now you also have playoff Jimmy too. On top of that, I'd rather see Denver personally because because Jimmy be taking off the regular season so much, people be forgetting what he be doing in the postseason. You have that, and then you have Steph Curry too. That's a lethal 1-2 punch right there that I do not want to see.
If I'm the
Nah, like
Lakers,
it.
I'm praying that the standings stay just like they are right now. Stay just like this. Because Denver and Golden State have to play in the first round and the Lakers get the winner.
Mm.
I'm praying for that. Because
Wait,
either the boogeyman is gone in Denver and you got to deal with Steph, or Denver just had a rough first round and you get to pick up the pieces. Because again, I don't think Minnesota, although Minnesota's size could be a trouble for the Lakers, but if Minnesota gets tripped up, and
Minnesota doesn't have much size though.
I mean Nas Reed is big,
He's 6'9".
Julius Julius is Julius is a
So my thing is, unless you're gonna alternate positions with them, which you really can't lineup wise, you can't not start both of them. So you'd have to start both of them, and then if you decide to tether minutes with them, you're gonna lose in size because they're the same size at 6'9". And then the next tallest guy is gonna be Jaden McDaniels, but he's small. And then after that, you have guards. That's it. They don't have another center. They got rid of Gobert and what is it, Luka
they
Garza? He
didn't get
doesn't
rid
even
of
play.
Gobert.
Luka, huh?
They didn't get rid of Gobert.
I mean, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say got rid of. Where is it? Hold on.
That's what said. Rudy is still there. Like this is
He's not. Is he injured? He doesn't play.
he stinks.
Nah, is he? I think he's
Yeah,
injured.
you haven't heard much of Rudy.
I think injured. I think he's injured.
He didn't play
Well,
two games.
Randall
He didn't play
well
two games.
Randall balled out tonight. He had a really good game tonight.
Gobert has missed the last 8 games.
Yeah, I think he's injured.
But there's no timetable for his return, but he's day to day. So day to day is good.
Mm.
But day to
No,
day is not going to be
I
day to
agree with
day
you, Mike.
when it's a back.
I agree.
Minnesota's
If his
size
team
could
can
be
get
trouble.
healthy at the right time,
Minnesota could be trouble for the Lakers anyway.
I don't know.
I think OKC would run Minnesota off the floor.
They they score too fast,
I think the OKC would run Minnesota off the floor.
and I feel like that'll be the same. I feel like that'll be the same situation for the Lakers to Minnesota. The Lakers will probably end up scoring them or outscoring them because regardless of what you think of LeBron being 40 and them playing slower, them boys is still scoring 30 each. And then you got Reeves scoring 30 scoring you got Brown scoring 30 something, Luca scoring 30 something, Reeves scoring 20 something. That's still 70 points out of three people, you know.
Hachimura's going to give you like 16,
Yeah.
16, 17.
hmm And then Vando's gonna probably give you 8 or 10. And now
Dalton's next.
they're finally starting to get a resurgence from Gabe Vincent. Finally, hopefully he pays out his
I
money back.
know.
He's just been a body on the team. Oh my god, such a bad. I mean, I wouldn't say bad signing. It looked like it was supposed to be
It's
promising. He
it's
didn't.
still a bad signing,
Yeah,
James. It's still a bad
it's
signing.
11 million a year,
It's
Hey,
still a
if
3
bad
years,
signing.
33 million.
if he finds a way to turn up some way somehow this year and they end up getting a ring,
It
it levels
won't be.
itself out.
It'll level out.
So,
As we speak right now today, it's a bad signing. That
He
was
played. What did he? How much he
it's
scored? Something the other night.
terrible.
it's
He's still got a
he's been
way to
such a
go.
massive
He's
disappointment.
got a way to go to make it not a bad signing.
Yeah.
But he has an opportunity. The opportunity's there. The opportunity is absolutely there for him to turn it around. But
Yeah, and they still got Finney Smith. He'll give you probably 10, 12
I
points too.
I like Finney Smith. I I think he adds a very interesting dynamic.
Him and Vando defensively is scary for
It
that
is.
team. And then nobody's talking about how Luca is turning Jackson Hayes into like defensive player of the year Chandler, throwing alleys to him. He had 19 the other day, I think. How much did
Well,
Jackson Hayes have the other night or last night? 19. He was 8 for 8. 10,
that's
10
crazy.
Oh
rebounds.
wow.
That's crazy. Just
Yeah,
Jackson Hayes.
we didn't even talk about him. He's been playing really well,
He's
especially on the defensive.
he's not that guy though. He's not. He's not.
Hey,
He's not that guy, bro.
you give some, you take some, man.
Luca effect.
It is the Luca
They
effect.
him and Brown draw a lot of attention. So, hey.
Well, we move on. What we're not talking about, Jane, we already talked about Dallas, Kyrie, and the Lakers, and Boston, and what we haven't talked about, as I was telling Anthony, are these two one seeds that have amazing records right now. Cleveland winning tonight is 52-10, and OKC is right behind them at 50-11. So the question is, which one seed is more likely? Do we have more confidence and is more likely to reach the finals? Cleveland or
Cleveland,
OKC?
Cleveland.
I don't know, man.
I'm just going based off of who are the actual who are the teams that pose a threat to Cleveland versus who poses a threat to OKC. I look at Cleveland.
Who did
Listen, I
OKC
love
lose
my
to last
Knicks.
year?
Who did they lose to?
Who did OKC
They lost
lose
to
to?
Dallas.
I lost to
They
Dallas.
lost to
They
Dallas.
lost
Lost
to
to Dallas.
Dallas. And they were the number one seed too.
Yeah,
They were.
yeah.
They
Which is
cost them
why I
Gatorade.
can't really put too much stock into these records right now because these two teams are very good in season teams and they haven't really proved anything in the playoffs.
But just going off of right now, though, if if you look at just if you focus on the Cavaliers for a second, again, I love what the Knicks are doing this season, but right now I don't see them as a threat at this moment to Cleveland. The only team I see as a threat to Cleveland right now is the Boston Celtics. I can give you probably like three teams that I can see beating OKC in the playoffs.
The, I see the Knicks beating Cleveland in playoffs.
I do too,
The
honestly.
Knicks own the Cavaliers in
Mm,
the playoffs.
Yeah, but we're talking about this year's Cavaliers team, the team that nobody saw doing this. Like they're not
They
the same Cavs team.
they did
Like
very well last year. They did very well last year.
no, come on, James. We're talking about this year. They are doing historically well this year. Like
They
this
are.
is the number one seed, arguably best team in the NBA Cavaliers. They've had three consecutive 10-game winning streaks just this season, James. This is
I
not
hear
the
you.
same Cavs team.
I hear you. So all I'm going off of is trends, right? And year to date stuff. So when you go off of trends, this team, both of these teams actually, were very, very well during the season. Had very, very long streaks during the season. Had high records during the season. And when they got to the playoffs, for some odd reason, they couldn't get past certain places or certain matchups. And actually, matchups do matter in the sense of this. I do think that the Cavaliers have gotten better, but it's not really to show just yet as far as like how they've gotten better with the Hunter trade. I haven't really like paid attention to see how he's affecting that team, but maybe so that's probably where you probably are correct in that fact where I haven't watched the games to see how much better they've gotten versus on paper, but I'll just have to see. I'm gonna be honest. I would just have to be proven. I would have to be made a believer because I just know that these teams in the past have been well, and I know this is past that I'm talking about. But I'm just saying, like in general, these teams have been the same conglomerate to certain extents and have continuously been good throughout the regular season, and then when the playoffs have came, they have crumbled to a matchup that just doesn't work well for them.
I see what you're saying. Like, this is honestly the best cast team since LeBron's second stint. Like, they're not just winning games; they're blowing teams out the damn building.
Yeah, they are.
Like, a lot of these games they're winning, like these win streaks they're going on. These aren't close games. They're straight up just blowing teams out of the goddamn building. A lot of times their own building. Their record against Western teams is insane. I can't remember what it was before, but it's damn near almost perfect.
Yeah, nah, they are going crazy. That comeback versus the Celtics was nasty.
Yeah, that was crazy. I turned off the game because I thought, okay, Celtics got them this night. Went to sleep, woke up, checked the score. I was like, wait, they lost. Saw the highlights, and Cleveland just they turned it on in the second half, like nobody's business.
That comeback was very impressive. I do think Boston kind of took their foot off the gas and was kind of like, dude, like playing with their food
Mm-hmm.
and got caught. But I don't want to make it seem like, you know, disrespecting Cleveland. That was a great comeback.
Yeah, that comeback
Great.
was nasty.
That was a
But
great comeback.
basketball, you know how it is, man. NBA is a
Game of
game of
runs.
runs. Yeah, it's a game of runs, man. And
And when you take your
once
foot off the
it's yeah,
gas,
exactly.
once you take your foot off the gas, you could be in
It's hard to
trouble.
get that. It's hard to get that momentum back, man. It's hard to get it back.
That's facts.
So, but
Two
I
turning into
agree.
three.
I agree with Jane. I think it's a. Well, I mean, y'all know this. I say it all the time. Styles make fights. Styles absolutely make fights. Just like we was just saying, how I was just saying that if I'm the Lakers, the only team I don't want to play is probably OKC and Denver. If I'm Cleveland, the only team, if I'm Cleveland, I don't want to see the Knicks and I don't really want to see Milwaukee. But I'm telling you, I think that Cleveland team, I don't think they fear Boston. I really don't think they, because even though they got the work last year, they really feel like if Donovan Mitchell didn't get hurt, they could have did something in that series. And we can call it crazy. We can say, y'all would have lost anyway. But that's for us. We're not in that locker room. I'm telling you, Cleveland really thinks if Donovan Mitchell didn't get hurt, they would have beat Boston last year. So
Mm.
I don't think they're scared of Boston at all. And I think they want that smoke. I really do. I think they want that smoke. And I think they match up decent with they actually match up pretty well with Boston because they can kind of do the same thing Boston does. I think Boston just plays better defense than them, but I think they play the same. Like it's the same kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's threes
So
galore.
keep
It's just threes, threes,
keep in
threes.
mind, Drew Holiday and Porzingis weren't playing that game
Correct. Correct. I didn't say I think they'll beat Boston. I
either.
don't think I don't think they're afraid of Boston. And would it surprise me if they beat Boston? Mildly, mildly surprised because they'd have home court. Donovan Mitchell's a
That's
bad
going to
player.
help Cleveland a lot.
It's going to help Cleveland. So I would be mildly surprised if they beat Boston. But I agree with James. Everybody in the media can run these numbers all they want. I don't think Cleveland wants to see us see the Knicks. I really don't think they want to see the Knicks. The Knicks are a bad matchup for them because of the way the Knicks play is exactly what Cleveland doesn't want to do. The Knicks want to grind it
Yeah, they
out,
don't want to get
slow it
dirty.
down. Exactly. The Knicks want to do that, and Cleveland does not. And the reason why they're not afraid of Boston is because Boston doesn't typically like to do that. The reason the Knicks have a problem with Boston is because when Boston decides to get dirty and grimy, they can. And that's what the Knicks can't seem to match their energy. So once the Knicks figure that out, they'll be fine with Boston. But Cleveland, I don't think wants to see the Knicks because of the way the matchup, the styles. The Knicks have someone that can. The Knicks are one of the rare teams that has someone that can guard Garland and Donovan, and they still, to this day, don't have anyone that can guard Jalen Brunson. So, because one thing I know for sure, Brunson tears Cleveland up. So
Yeah.
Hunter will help James's boogeyman. He will absolutely help
Oh my
them
god,
against the Knicks. He will help them against the Knicks, but I don't think they want to see the Knicks. Now, Indiana, Milwaukee, I don't think Milwaukee can beat. I don't think Milwaukee
I
can beat
mean,
Cleveland unless Dame catches a burner. I don't think they can beat them. Indiana's not beating them. Detroit, like I was telling Anthony earlier, I like Detroit. I like Detroit too. Me and Dylan are the biggest Cade Cunningham fans in here, but I don't
yeah.
think Detroit's ready yet. I just don't think they're ready yet.
they're not ready.
I just don't think they're ready for that. And Miami, Atlanta, all the playing teams in the East stink. So, Trey
But
Young's
here's my
Trey
thing.
Young's here. Ooh, Trey Young. Ooh.
My only concern going back to the Knicks for a second is yes, I know this is regular season. We're talking postseason, but again, got to go off the regular season. First game we played them, we lost. The last game we played them, they blew the doors off of us. It was horrible. They beat us 142 to 105. We still have two more matches against Cleveland. I need to see something from us against these guys.
And I think you will. Like that's what Boston just blew our doors off. That's fine. There's no argument. Cleveland, this context you got to add to the two Cleveland games don't bother me because the first Cleveland
How?
game because the
Well,
first
the first
Cleveland
one
game
doesn't. We only lost by 6.
and we were winning. We literally what happened to Boston a couple of nights ago is what happened to us in that game. We were blowing them out. We took our foot off the gas, and then they got hot and just ran away. The second game where they scored 142, if you remember, the Knicks played that was the second game of a back-to-back, and the Knicks played in overtime against Chicago the night before. Like as soon as that Chicago game went to overtime, I knew the Knicks were getting blown out against Cleveland the next night because they had to fly from New York to Cleveland to play Cleveland in a game that Cleveland was resting and waiting for on national TV. I knew what time it was going to be. I was hoping that the Knicks could do something, but I knew the Knicks were going to get blown out because I was like, yeah, nah, we just played this hard, tough, overtime grinding game against Chicago, and now we got to go fly to Cleveland and play Cleveland. Nah, it's a wrap for us. It's a wrap. Like it's over. And
He
and
says so.
and sure enough, Cleveland blew us out. Like it didn't even surprise. I don't even get mad at that game because I knew what time it was. The Boston games bothered me. That's why the Boston game bothers me because there's no excuse for that. Like
Well,
there's
Mike, I'll
no
tell you
excuse.
this. I'll tell you this real quick. I'm looking at the schedule.
I can't wait for
April
this game.
1st, we're
I can't.
April 1st, we're home against the 76ers. The next day we have to fly out to
Don't tell
Cleveland.
me this.
It's the same
Don't
exact it's the
don't tell
same
me they do that to
scenario.
us again.
We're,
Again.
we're, we're in New York to play the Sixers in Madison Garden, and we have to fly to Cleveland the next night to play them.
and
April
and
2nd.
and Mike, guess what?
Boy,
and
don't tell. No, don't. There's no
then
way.
when we play
Don't. There's
on
no
April
way.
10th, when we play Detroit, we fly to Detroit, and on the 11th we play Cleveland.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh shit! Really? Holy fuck!
There's no
Wow!
way.
Yo, that's
I mean,
hilarious.
at least we're home. We're home, but we still got to fly home from Detroit.
Yo, that's hilarious.
So this is what I'm saying though about context. So we're gonna play them 4 times this year. 3 times out of that 4, it's the second night of a back-to-back for us.
Yep.
Like that, we gotta add context. Like that is, and we already know Philly.
Hey,
The Philly game is gonna be a tough game because even though we beat them, it's always a tough game. Like,
and the April 2nd game, Cleveland will be rested.
of course
By
they
the way,
will. Of course they will.
yeah,
Of course they will.
I just checked their schedule.
We will get blown out that
They'll
night.
be rested, and their game would have been at home too. Their March 30th game would have been a home game.
We will get blown out again, and Stephen A. will get on TV. The Knicks just stink, man. They just I don't know what's going on. No. Just so sad. Fake ass man.
I mean, the only thing I could say is that for that second,
The
back to
second one,
back,
we're home.
they'll be also on a back to back.
Okay. Well, there's a little hope there. Cleveland still doesn't scare me.
What do y'all think about the Marjan Beauchamp? Are you guys familiar with him? I'm familiar with him.
I saw the Knicks post him, and I'm not gonna lie. I sat here and went, "Who the hell is this?" And then
I have no clue who that motherfucker is. I'm
and
sorry.
then
Here,
I
he's
saw
to have a
James
pro.
talking about him, and I went and checked him out. I was like, "Oh, I know who this guy is." He's not gonna get any minutes.
Is he?
Yeah, I was gonna say now. Will
He's not gonna get
Tibbs play
So
him?
he's a body.
It's a body.
He's just a body on the bench.
There's a good chance, Anthony. You know what he's going to end up being? You remember how in the
What?
playoffs last year, randomly out of nowhere, Alec Burks just came in and just seemingly
Oh yeah,
every time he came in the game,
I
something
remember
good
that.
happened for like
Yeah,
7 minutes. He would just play
yeah.
amazing. That's what this kid is going to be. He's going to pop up in the playoffs. He's going to give us 5 great, crazy minutes, and everybody's going to be screaming, "Put him in, put him in!" And then the moment he gets some real minutes, it's going to be, "Come take a seat next to me."
Scouting report.
Come have a seat. But Anthony, that 5 minutes that he's going to give us, that 7, that 7 points in 5 minutes box score he's going to give us, you wait and see. He got some bunnies too. It should be fun. Him and Deuce running on the floor together should be fun. That should be fun. But it trust me when I tell you, Anthony, it does not move the needle at all. At all.
Okay, I believe that.
At all.
I mean, he's on a 2-way deal, so I mean,
It don't.
look, I get what you're saying. I don't know if we're done with Boston yet, but I need to see us beat one of these teams at least once before the postseason. I just don't want to go into the playoffs, and we've been swept by the Celtics and the Cavaliers. Something about that just doesn't sit right with me. Like, we got to get one game at least.
I agree. I
may
don't
not
know if
see
it's going to be Cleveland. I don't know if it's going to be Cleveland. The way the schedule, the way
I
the
agree.
schedule is lined up, I don't know if it's going to be
We definitely
Cleveland.
need to beat them at least once to get like a confidence builder or have some type of tape of how we did it. But you may not see it.
You may not see it. And Boston, I think we only. I don't know, even know if we play Boston again this year.
We played them on April
Let me
8th.
see.
April what?
Oh, we
8th.
do. Is that in New York or Boston?
That is in Boston. No, in New York.
I mean, you're right.
Okay.
It'd be nice. It'd be nice to just
Yeah, we got to get one, at least one. Like,
play
I'm
them
not
close.
asking for a lot here.
Play them
Jesus
close.
Christ, Boston has been blowing the doors off of us too.
The,
Shit.
the only good thing
Ooh.
is last game before the dam broke. There was a stretch from the middle of the third quarter to about the middle of the fourth quarter where it finally looked like, hey, we can play with them. But at that point, we was already down
Yeah,
30. So
the game is over.
we was already down 30. And then, like I told James, Pat pulled a classic Anthony where he started talking and then promptly got hurt immediately afterwards. Even though that was his
His
pride.
pride was
Yes,
hurt. Yep.
yes, his pride was hurt because he gave up a dunk and then all of a sudden, my knee, my knee. 5 minutes later, he's fine. Like, all right, all right. Yep, that's your man's, James. That's your man's.
What was that?
Cat. That's your man's. That's your man's. I'm gonna have to sit here in May and watch Porzingis punk him, and I'm going to be ruthless. Ruthless. Because you know who Porzingis ain't punking? Just Randall. I know that. He might dribble past him. He might run past Julius Randle, but he ain't gonna punk him. And when he punks Cat, I'm gonna be vicious, unrelenting.
Tibbs still hasn't played Cat and Mitchell together yet, right?
We saw it
uh,
briefly, one game.
yeah, but Mitch only's been playing like 10 minutes, and then the
Yeah,
last game, Cat wasn't even playing.
it was brief. It was very, very brief.
Yeah,
So no, not really yet. But I was saying I'm encouraged. Once Mitch gets his legs under him, I'm encouraged.
yeah.
Yeah. I need. This is this is typical Knicks behavior, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Typical Knicks behavior, man. We get someone back, we lose someone. This is how we always do. We never gain
Well,
momentum.
no, Cat's good now. He's gonna be back with us
They say
tomorrow.
he's supposed to
It
be
was just
back
one game.
tomorrow, but they don't necessarily have definitive. They marked him for available, but
That don't mean
they
he's
didn't.
playing. They just did mark him out, but that don't
Yeah,
mean he's
Oh,
playing.
they just didn't, because at first they said he was gonna miss the West Coast trip. No,
yeah.
no, no. They said no. He's gonna play. No, the report said he's gonna play. I'm looking at it right now.
Uh,
Carl Anthony Towns to play against Lakers.
Okay. We shall see. What I don't
mhm.
want to see, what I'm not looking forward to is seeing Luca dribble, 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 and shoot a three in his face. Not looking forward. Not looking. Not looking forward to listening to Roz after that game. Which, by the way, I don't know if you noticed, Captain Misery's been awfully quiet about the Lakers since they've been winning.
Yeah.
You
They
know, the
he
funniest thing is like he's not singing their prayers. Like he's not
because he's
singing their
but
praises at all.
because he's actually miserable because they're playing well. He's
I
miserable.
literally noticed that. I think I posted more positive Lakers links than
I I promise you, Anthony, let them lose 2 or 3 games in a row. I promise you, all of a sudden he will turn into fucking Kendrick Perkins out of nowhere and be the basketball analyst. I've been watching the Lakers all season. Lakers been legit. out of nowhere. Loves being miserable. Loves it.
he should
Lakers
be happy, man. Celebrate the Bucks,
Lakers traded for Luca. We were with him in real time. He didn't even his brain didn't even know how to process how excited he should be.
man.
I get it's
That's a
great. I
fact.
guess
You
I
couldn't
guess
tell
it's
he
great.
was happy or not.
I, it's good. I think.
I feel like he was more. He seemed more happy in text in the chat versus in reality.
Mm-hmm. Just
So, mm,
Captain Misery, just out here. The only time he's happy is when he's out here teaching the babies. That's the only time he's happy. Only time he's happy is when he's out here teaching the babies.
He's not happy during basketball season. Definitely not happy during football season. He ain't happy during baseball season.
He's miserable. He's miserable during baseball season. Don't let the Yankees lose 2-3 in a row. Still waiting. Still waiting to find out if the Yankees are an embarrassment to the Yankees. Still
yeah,
waiting.
don't even start.
Still waiting. Embarrassment for the franchise in August. Team goes to the World Series and now the pom poms are out.
Man, all I can say is that don't say too much on him just yet because he's gonna pull up that he has said something in the chat.
Yankees win. That's it.
I mean,
Once
for the
he,
Lakers, even
that's
the
all he has
Lakers,
to
like
say.
even
Oh, for the
even for the
Lakers? Yeah, no.
Lakers,
We
the other
just stay quiet. Just stay quiet.
no, he said something that, like the other day. He said he posted that what did he post? He posted that Brown was like I think he was the Western Player of the Week or the month,
Oh.
and he was like dope shit for Brown. That's real king shit. But
Oh,
that was it.
I gotta go look at that. I've never heard him refer to LeBron that way.
Yep, that's exactly what he said. Search dope for Bron. It should come up.
We will see. We will see. It's gonna be a fun. This is James's favorite part of the year. Basketball overload. I'll tell you. I'll tell you what. It's not gonna be his favorite part of the year though. Saturday when his bum ass Tar Heels get their doors blown off by Duke. He won't be happy. He won't be happy then. Won't be happy then.
You should
March Madness.
be careful.
I don't got nothing to be careful about. You gotta get your doors blown off.
Okay.
Off. You're lucky. You're lucky the All-Star game was rigged too, or you'd owe me some Gatorade.
Mm-hmm.
Lucky.
You should be careful, Mike.
What? What you trying to say?
My Tar Heels have been on a streak
They
recently
stink.
too.
They stink.
Okay.
Stink. Stinking. Oh, Tennessee lost. Wow. They stink.
Mm-hmm.
With tell you what it is right now. I tell you what it is right now. Give me that line. Shout out to well, we'll get to that. Shout out to St. John's. We'll get to that. They play at night because y'all want to get embarrassed on TV. Yeah, 6:30. 6:30. What are we looking at? What are we looking at? I'm trying to see what the line is on this game. Give me 1 second, because I definitely got Gatorade on this game. Since James wants to talk.
Anthony Ask Mike what's Duke record.
I know
What's Duke?
we. I know we're the number three. I think three team in the country. I know that.
I'll give y'all that. Y'all are number 2, I think.
I know that.
What's your record, Mike?
You know what? I will tell you. I think we're 20.
18-1.
No, we've lost like 3 times. I think we're like 21-3.
18-1.
We've lost more than one game. Standings.
27-3 or something. You sure?
Yeah, like I think you're talking about our conference record.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's our conference record. We're 27-3. 27-3. We're 18-1 in the conference. And of course, fucking Louisville is 17-2. Like we can't even just clinch the conference because Louisville just never wants to lose. 24-6, but 17-2 in the conference because of course they are. But 27-3, James. We are what they call the real deal. And your Tar Heels are 20-11.
Yeah.
You stink.
Stink. We're only 5 games behind.
You stink.
Stink.
You
Mind you,
stink.
Mike's team is on a 7-game win streak, right? The Tar Heels on a 6-game winning streak. we, but we stink. We stink,
Stink.
bro. See, that's that's the right. That's the rivalry speaking instead of the reality, Anthony. That's the rivalry speaking. Because if you let him tell you, you would have thought that we were 9-14 or something like that. 9-18.
You stink.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Like I
boy,
said, you need to be careful.
March Madness.
Your team is on a win
March Madness is here, guys.
and so is mine. And you better hope that your confidence is higher than ours.
I still don't have a money line. There we go. You stink.
Mm-hmm.
He's just gonna keep saying it.
That's
I
fine.
am gonna keep saying it.
He's just gonna keep saying it.
That's
Because
him trying to keep his confidence high. He doesn't want to allow anything else creep into his mind. That's all that is. He doesn't even want to fathom the idea that he can possibly lose. It's okay. Because
He's like, well,
if you lose, there is visual evidence and audio evidence of you talking crazy and having to hold that L. That's all I have to say.
hey, as long as everybody stands on their word, that's all that matters.
Exactly. So go ahead and repeat it, Mike. I know you want to say it so bad one more
you
time. I see
stink.
it. Go ahead. Yep,
You
there you go.
stink.
So I'm gonna call the chat if y'all lose.
Duke is a 4.5 point favorite on the road in that building that y'all
Who
play
cares
in.
about that? Who cares about that?
4.5 point. I will
This is
give.
this is
I will.
college we're talking about.
I will give you. I will give you 6 right now if you gave me 2 Gatorade.
This is
I'll give you.
college right
I'll
now.
give you
You
6
can't.
points right now.
Every game is every game is a bad bet.
I, I'll give you 6. I'll give you 6 points right now.
Every game
So I'll give you 6.
every game is a tough beat. Every game. You think, oh, the cover is 8.8.5 score, and then somebody hits a 3 with 0.5 seconds left. But I don't know too much about gambling to do spreads. I'd rather keep it simple on a win-loss thing.
Duke to Gatorade.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. Let's
Mm.
do it.
Oh, you want to bet it?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Good. Got your ass.
Okay. All I have to say is I hope they win.
Got your ass. You gonna
better hope
Mike, you
they.
know James gonna call the chat too.
you gonna
You
Yeah.
better hope they win.
watch your ass. You gonna see
This one, Anthony.
Saturday
This
night, Anthony. You gonna
Anthony. This
see.
wouldn't be this wouldn't be the first or the last time Mike has looked up with egg on his face.
We gonna
I've
see
I've
him get
seen
this
his
dub.
I've seen his beloved Duke lose by buzzer beaters to inferior teams. Yeah. Look at the sadness. Sadness. Sadness.
It happens to everybody.
Yeah. I bet it
It
does. That's
happens
why I
to
said
everybody.
you better hope they win since it happens to everybody.
And we will. What is today? The 5th. So we are when we come. Yeah, we're still 2 weeks out of Selection Sunday. So can't wait. Can't wait. It's a great time of the year because after March Madness, the NBA playoffs is right behind it.
Yes, it is.
Post game live will return. Can't
Mike don't
wait.
Mike don't come in last place this year.
I will not come in last place.
This
I
man don't learn, does he, Anthony? Every year you be claiming, "Oh, I will not," and then come in last place, and then got a million excuses. We've seen this 2 years straight, Mike.
I have only come in last place one time.
All right,
One time.
okay,
And this will not be year two.
okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a very long month.
It is.
It's a
Mm-hmm.
very long month.
I mean, it's going to be a great month. Duke,
It's
Duke
going
is
to
going
be a
Duke.
wide distribution of Gatorade going on this month.
Yes, Duke is going to win on Saturday. Win me some Gatorade on Saturday. Anthony is going to take me out to dinner in a couple of weeks. Some
Pause.
nice, delicious, nice, delicious steak.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you definitely gotta. Yeah.
I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win the March Madness bracket. It's gonna be good times. James is gonna finish in last in fantasy basketball. It's going to be a great month. Great month.
Mm-hmm.
Can't
Wait,
wait.
so what is that Duke game
Saturday. Saturday at 6:30.
this Saturday?
This Saturday at 6:30.
Whew.
Be prepared for the chat to be flooded around 8 o'clock.
All right.
Be
If my
prepared.
phone starts vibrating, I know that I know what's gonna happen at that point.
Mm-hmm.
It will be another Duke celebration.
See, that's
Listen,
see. All right.
whoever loses, all I'm asking for is whoever loses, just don't run. Just just be a man and just
I
you
will
know
be there
take the out.
regardless. I will be there regardless.
Game's gonna be
That's
great.
all I ask for.
My thing is, I will be there regardless. But see, I mean, all right.
Can't wait. Can't wait. Can't wait.
You know what happened when that quote was said, right?
Lightning struck. Yeah, I know.
Lightning struck. Wow. Okay.
Make sure you hit that like, share, subscribe, hit that notification for when we go live. That'll be great for when Post Game Live gets fired up. You can follow us on all of these streaming platforms, wherever you get your podcasts. We are there. Before we get out of here, can we talk about the world rattling to its core on Saturday?
A tank fight.
No, I mean that was the aftershock. The ripple effect was John Cena turning heel. That
Mm.
that
Yes.
that was earth shattering.
Yes, it was.
So earth shattering that
Yes.
we don't even remember the fact that Cody dropped an F bomb on WWE television on live TV
Yeah, I know.
because that Cody dropping an F bomb was what the hell is happening here?
Like
Telling
the literal banned F bomb.
he told The Rock, go fuck yourself on
Ah,
live TV.
nah.
Yep.
I was
no,
thinking about the
no bleep.
other F bomb.
No, not that one.
I was
No,
about to
no,
say
you can't say
I was
that.
about to say what has the world come to with that happening on national TV?
Nah, you definitely can't say that shit.
Yeah.
No, he told The Rock to go F himself on live TV, which was great. You would have thought that would have been the loudest pop of the night, but then John Cena looked in the camera and we've all seen the meme. I'm not going to put it up because, I don't want this episode to get taken down because WWE does not play games.
I don't watch wrestling, right?
You saw the meme though, didn't you?
No, I saw the clip.
We've all seen the clip.
What I'm saying is, ain't nobody see that coming.
No,
No,
Jay. No, James.
James, we're talking.
No.
When did John Cena? What was the year he became like Super Cena? It was it 2006, right?
Yeah, like around 06, 07, something like that.
Yeah, that's when he became Super Cena. Started wearing the rainbow shirts and all that, like the gear. That's when he became. We're talking almost
15,
20 years.
yeah, 15, 20 years of
Yeah,
just
15, 20 years. He's been this hardcore baby face for the kid, role model for the kids. 1,000 Make a Wish, you know, appearances. Nobody ever thought he was gonna. Nobody ever saw this happening at all.
Hear
It
so
me
don't. It
out.
still don't even make sense to me.
it
Hear
still
hear
doesn't
me
even
out. Hear me out. Reason why I said nobody, I'm confused why nobody saw this happening is because he looked a little weird. Didn't he look like he had like some makeup on that made him look paler?
I said that as I was watching it. I was like, man, John is like real pale tonight. I don't know what's going on.
Hmm.
Now, James, in hindsight, yeah, in hindsight, they were telling us in
That's that's
plain
the
sight.
that's the grayed out character on the board
Yeah,
that you can't pick until you pass something. Or I'm all I'm saying is I don't watch,
in
and I was able to point that out when I saw it happen. I was like, I'm surprised that nobody saw this coming based on how he was looking. He was looking a lot on the paler side to whatever. Okay.
in hindsight, it was in plain view. The Rock literally told us like 6 months ago in plain sight, and we all just laughed and was like, The Rock doing random shit when he put the John Cena three fingers up, but he just put it up backwards in plain sight. In plain
Mhm.
sight, told us
In
what it was.
plain sight.
In plain sight, told us what it was. And then in plain sight, John Cena just inserted himself in that match without having to do anything in plain sight because no one should be able to just get in that match and not qualify. But John Cena can. In plain sight, John Cena for the last month has been saying, I'm going to win because it's best for business. I'm going to win because it's best for business. In plain sight, telling us he's with the authority. He's in plain sight. So, yes, James. Yeah, should we have seen it coming? We should
It,
have seen it coming, but no. No.
and I've seen the hints. I read up on the hints. They all make sense. but you still don't conceptualize it in your head. You don't internalize it at all because it's not. If you look back at 18 years of Super Cena, you can find different points where heel turns could have been teased a little bit. Certain
Yep.
clues could have been taken certain ways, but it never materialized into anything. It
Never
was just
did.
him being Super Cena. Yeah, it never did it. Never ever. So even now, it's like okay, you can look back at the hints that make sense, but you're still not thinking like, oh, they're gonna do this. You know, it's still unbelievable, like that this is even happening. It's honestly, it's made my excitement for WrestleMania 41 go from like here to like here.
Mm.
Like, I want to see the build up to that show now. It's gonna be
Can't
crazy.
can't wait. I mean, so much so that here we are, the biggest baby face in the company, Cody Rhodes. We literally were sitting here like, man, Cody's gonna turn heel because there's no way John's turning heel. So it has to be Cody that's gonna be the bad guy in plain sight the whole time. This is gonna be a ride. The next 6 weeks is going to be crazy. If you, I'm telling you, you may not understand everything, but if you want to get on this ride right now, it's gonna be a fun 6 weeks. It's gonna be a
James, they
fun.
were talking about on first take.
It's gonna be a fun six
They were
weeks.
talking about on first
I'm
take.
telling you right now, if they learn from last year, this is gonna be a fun 6 weeks because last week the build up was in hyperdrive because it felt like we went 0 to 100 in like 3 weeks. Like 3 weeks. They got 6 weeks to build this thing up now. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. We already got the Jade and beyond. Like this is gonna be a fun 6 weeks. I can't wait for Mania.
No, thank you.
I can't wait.
He said no thanks. He said no thanks.
We have to check on Roz's momentum and his
It lasted however long that Peacock trial is. That's as long as it lasted. That's as long as
So
it
this year is
lasted.
going back 5 years and catching up.
He literally, I like. You want to really know why this is so good and why? I mean, you have to go back about 5 years. You have to go back to when Roman became the tribal chief and figure out how all of this weaves around Roman and how Roman is the GOAT and why last year was such a big deal. Like, you don't even understand why last year was such a big deal. There were people crying last year when Cody won. That's how
I
good
know.
this. That's how good this story has been.
People are literally crying.
This story has been the most unbelievable story in wrestling history. Like this ride is crazy. This ride is crazy. You just don't know. You
man.
still need to watch NXT though. Just dip your toe in the water. Get you some NXT.
If I see somebody handstand
Shit,
come out of a headlock, Mike,
You're not
shit.
going to see
I watch
that
NXT.
nonsense, James.
I watch NXT.
I'm sure you
Anthony,
do watch NXT.
Mike, Mike wants me to watch wrestling after someone handstand got out of a headlock backwards.
Anthony James is referring to this random indie promotion in Zimbabwe, New Mexico that he
These were two
found.
white guys, Anthony. For all we know, this was AEW before it got big, and Mike is trying to discount it.
And James will hold on to that clip as if it just embodies everything. When it not, that unsanctioned match between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn alone would bring you back to wrestling. That match alone would have brought you back.
That was a really good fucking match.
Like that was
No,
unbelievable.
like the thing is, like I don't really watch wrestling like that. Like this is the most I watch wrestling usually around this time.
Around
But
this
like
time.
when I watch the matches, they're still really good. Like they still put up really really good matches. Like you know,
When I tell you, when we were watching, what was we watching at your new spot, Mike? Was that Royal Rumble,
We were watching the
WrestleMania?
Royal Rumble,
And when I
which is
yeah,
tell
it's a
you,
Royal Rumble.
I was miserable watching that shit, Anthony.
Anthony. We watched 15 minutes of the women's rumble. That's what he got. 15 minutes, and he didn't even get the good part of the women's rumble. He got the end where it's slowed down and everybody's just being over dramatic. It's the Royal Rumble. Like it's like he has no idea about the
Gotta give
yeet
it a chance,
movement.
James.
He doesn't know about the yeet movement. Like
Mike, you know what you need to do? You need to have like a WrestleMania get together. That's what you need to do. You need to set that up and have James watch the spectacle that's WrestleMania.
he would like it. He would
You,
like
you
it.
would like it, James.
He's afraid that he'll like it too. That's the problem. Also, he's afraid that he'll like it.
Am I?
Afraid that he'll like it.
James, here's what's gonna happen, James. You're gonna watch WrestleMania, you're gonna love it, and then you're gonna buy WWE 2K25. That's what's gonna happen right after.
Now you're taking it too far. Took it too far. This is what he does. This is what he does. Like, we were reeling James in slowly but surely, and here comes Anthony, half court press.
Good night, everybody. That was great.
That's it. That's it. That's it. You're gonna watch it, and you're gonna go buy the video game immediately. It's not gonna happen. So, all right. Well, there's only one thing left to do. We don't have any picks to do, so there's no need to play the music, much to James's delight.
We gotta figure something out for basketball. Put
We
put
do.
Dy- put Dylan to work, even though he's sidelined. He could do something.
I'm him for this week. I already know where I'm going with mine. But
What you got,
Anthony,
Ant?
I'm him.
I'm him. Ooh, I'm him. I have to get to Saquon Barkley. Again, just having a phenomenal season, one of the best running back seasons we've seen in a long time, and then properly getting rewarded with being the highest paid running back of all time. Just him getting that contract just solidifies just one of the best years period for a running back that a running back can ever have. Period. Like he did everything like this year. So just another shout out for him. 2 years, 41 million, getting 20 million a year as a running back. Man, he's bringing that running back market back.
Much to Dylan's dismay. This picture is ridiculous.
Big puppy. Bodega cat. I'm him, guys. I guess you give it to LeBron for 50K.
Mm-hmm.
50K
Brown gangs,
regular season, playoff combined.
goat things.
Yeah. To the point, even Stephen A called him a goat this morning.
Because it's just nothing you can. What else can you say? What else does he have to do?
6-0. 6 and
Six
0.
and zero. That's the only thing he has to do. If not 6 and 0, it doesn't matter.
Like as Mike, as much as you don't like Gilbert Arenas,
I don't.
he be saying some stuff, man.
He, I don't know if he fell and bumped his head. I don't know what happened.
Ellen Buck, no, he's always been on this side for Braun.
Well, that's because he has to work with Rashard McCants every day, who is just as delusional as Anthony used to be. I don't even know if "used to be" is the right word, but Anthony's toned it down. But Rashard McCants is insane.
Charles McCann hates Braun. Hates
He
him.
hate he hates
Honestly, it's hard to hate on a 40-year-old who's dropping 27 a game and is third in
um
MVP conversation.
Rashard
It's
McCants.
hard to hate on that.
Rashard McCants can.
Mm-hmm.
He can.
That's wild.
He don't even want to be
It's
asked
just
about
wild.
what do you think of LeBron scoring this much at this age. He doesn't even want to be asked that.
Yeah, it's not a real question
So
because like we've seen so many 40-year-olds do this. Why are we even talking about it, right?
yeah, yeah. But yeah. Shout out to Braun, man.
LeBron James. But yes, my I'm him for this week goes to none other than Coach Rick Pitino,
Mm.
head coach of my St. John's Red Storm, leading us to our first outright regular season Big East title in 35 years. Shout out to the Red Storm. If all my stuff wasn't bagged, I do think I know where my hoodie is, but I didn't have time to grab it. But I'll have it on next week. I promise you, I'll have my St. John's hoodie on. If we had time before, actually, actually, yeah. Shout out to Rick Pitino leading these St. John's University to the Big East Championship, regular season championship. First time in 35 years, like I said. Big moment for the school. Happy for the boys. Going to the tourney. Should have got in last year, but that's another story. But let's go get this postseason tournament. Let's go make some noise in the big tournament. I already told Dylan, he's already laughing because I already told him my bias and my hysteria is going to get me in trouble. I don't know how good this St. John's team is, but I'm
Mm.
going to rock them till the wheels fall off. I'm going to rock it. We're going to ride this till the wheel fall off. And you're going to see me on this show every week in this hoodie. You're going to see it. Those of you that don't know,
Oh boy.
I am an alumni of St. John's. Red Storm. All day. James, you can't root for multiple teams. Oh, I can. I can root for my alumni. I can root for my Johnnies, and I can root for the Dukies. We can do that. Johnnies all day. Shout out to Rick Pitino. I'm him. St. John's regular season champs.
Ah,
Mm.
Can't wait to
quite the I'm him.
can't wait to get that Gatorade from you. So, from us to you, we will be back next week. And we say good night. We say adieu. Have a good evening.